Are you exhausted from constantly bending over backwards for people who wouldn't lift a finger for you? You likely tell yourself you're just being an agreeable, helpful person, but deep down, you feel the physical and mental drain of pouring your energy into a bottomless pit. This compulsion to keep everyone happy functions as a psychological trap, broadcasting a signal that invites exploitative personalities into your life. The psychiatrist Carl Jung warned of the dangers inherent in this blind goodness. He observed that the urge to be perfectly agreeable at all times acts as a mask, and eventually, a prison. He called this mask the persona. The persona is a functional outer shell we develop from childhood to navigate the demands of society. It is the part of you that learns to smile when you want to cry, and to say yes when you really mean no, specifically to avoid conflict. Prioritizing external peace over your internal reality results in self-abandonment. Every reluctant yes signals to the world that your boundaries are entirely optional, turning you into invisible prey. Breaking this cycle begins by recognizing that shape-shifting to meet others' expectations erases your true self. True nobility requires being completely unambiguous about who you are, regardless of whether it makes those around you comfortable. This leads to the second step: confronting your use of words. Think about the last time you tried to set a boundary. You likely backpedaled immediately, offering a 10-minute apology explaining why you couldn't help. This urge to over-explain functions as a trauma response driven by fear of being unlovable, even when it is presented as a logical defense. Manipulators weaponize these justifications. When you defend your limits with lengthy explanations, they use those details as debate points to create confusion and drain your remaining energy. The definitive rule for protection is simple. A boundary must exist as an absolute fact. It requires no apology and no justification. True authority comes from unilaterally enforcing a closed door that shuts out exploitation. Stop shrinking yourself to accommodate others. Step 3 requires preparing for social retaliation. When you stop pleasing people, the individuals around you will often react with discomfort, accusing you of becoming cold or selfish. These aggressors feel threatened by the loss of their unearned access. Their pushback stems from a perceived entitlement to your energy, rather than any genuine cruelty on your part. Handling this pushback leads to step 4, integrating Jung's concept of the shadow. The shadow consists of repressed, unacceptable parts of yourself, specifically your raw anger and frustration. Society mandates suppressing anger, but Jung warned buried emotions gain destructive control over the subconscious. That fire in your gut during a moment of disrespect is a sacred biological alarm system. It is your nervous system signaling a boundary violation. The shadow functions as a defensive mechanism. Integrating this part of yourself transforms passive resentment into an active tool for building unshakable self-respect. Step 5 dismantles the fallacy that endless generosity acts as a reliable tool to build loyalty. This chart reveals the psychological reality of giving. Continuous generosity breeds entitlement. Your kindness resets their baseline, becoming their expected normal. Cutting off the supply makes you the villain in their story. They will resent a single denial, completely disregarding your long history of accommodation. To stop being used, you must apply the laws of scarcity to your own energy and availability. Enforcing scarcity forces your environment to treat your presence as a highly earned privilege rather than a guaranteed right. Carl Jung advocated for becoming a conscious and whole individual, prioritizing integration over fractured shapeshifting. Reclaiming your power means moving away from serving as a narcissistic supply for others and commanding absolute sovereignty over your own peace. Maintaining this integrated identity requires an ongoing commitment. You are forging psychological armor to protect against future manipulation. You are no longer a backup plan. You are the author of your own story, commanding respect through clarity. Reclaiming your true identity demands the courage to endure the discomfort of disappointing others. Your future self relies on this one truth: my peace costs nothing, but my access is earned.